Alright, bit late to the party with this one, I'll admit that. It's the WBA situation with Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois. Now, I have to say, this has kind of gone a bit under the radar for me. A lot of the stuff I've been seeing with regards to boxing news has been about the Misfit show that's going to be happening tonight. I probably will, just going a bit off topic, as I often do, I probably will talk, well, I will do a post fight review for KSI Tommy Fury. That's the only, I'm not going to do anything else with the card. And I won't be paying for it. I'm just going to watch the main event by other means, and we'll do a little chat about that after. And that's kind of been dominating a lot of the boxing forums, the boxing news. So this has kind of come about almost, and I've, forgive my ignorance, completely forgot to do a video on it. As well as that, I finally got a mic that I got last year, and I think I might have set it up wrong originally, which is why it didn't sound great, because I've done a few little dummy runs with it now, and it actually sounds not too bad, at least on the recording device I'm using, which is an iPhone Pro, 14 Pro I think it is. So obviously that sound's going to be a bit better on that than the average kind of phone. But I want to get this used. I want to use this, so let's see how it goes. In terms of the actual topic of this video, WBA, I'll read it here, have now officially dismissed Frank Warren's appeal over the Oleksandr Usyk versus Daniel Dubois low blow controversy. They ruled that there was no clear and conclusive evidence that the referee's decision was wrong. Now, I've long since said that I feel Usyk maybe could count himself a bit lucky that he didn't get a count. I really do, because it was kind of, for me, it was borderline. It was a real kind of grey area where the shot went in. I don't have an issue with the referee ruling a low blow. Had Usyk had been given a count, I wouldn't have had an issue there. I know a lot of people would say, well, no, Dubois should have been champion. Usyk was down for a long time. Well, yeah, because it was ruled a low blow. You have up to 5 minutes. It's seldom you do see fighters take the 5 minutes. It is, to be fair, but Usyk did take, I think he took pretty much the full 5 minutes, which you're allowed to do. You are allowed to do it. It's in the rules. And, if the referee had administered a count, right, who's to say? Because everyone says, oh, well, he was down for it. Like, who's to say if the referee hadn't have said knockdown and started picking up the count, it will say 3, that Usyk wouldn't have said, okay, look, I'm hurt, but look, I'm up. You can never know. You don't know that for definite. But they basically said that the referee's decision is the final decision, as it so often is the case with any fight, to be honest with you. The referee, whether it's the count, whether it's knockdowns, etc., the referee is the one who makes the final decision, whether it's right or wrong. How many times have we seen a fight where a knockdown shouldn't have been scored a knockdown? Prime example, Joseph Parker versus Dillian White, the second round. Joseph Parker was winning that round handily, and then a knockdown was ruled by the referee, but it was a headbutt. It wasn't a knockdown. Shouldn't have been called a knockdown, but it was. And the judges, even if they can see that it's not a real knockdown, it's not a legit knockdown, the referees ruled that they have to score a 10-8. They have to score a round as a knockdown. It's like that with other things as well. If a fighter trips and the referee mistakenly is maybe in not the best angle, he rules it a knockdown. There's no thank God there's no VAR in boxing. You can't look at a replay and it just wouldn't work in boxing anyway for a variety of reasons. But you can't just look at a replay and say, oh, actually he slipped, all right, I'm going to backtrack on the knockdown. No, he's ruled it. The judges, even if the judges can see that it wasn't a knockdown, they have to score. The referee said it, they have to score it as a knockdown. So the WBA had basically dismissed it. So Frank Warren, what he was trying to do was to get an immediate rematch ordered between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois, which will not happen now. So that's the mandatory of the WBA well and truly fulfilled for another year or so. So Dubois is just going to have to earn his shot again. He didn't really do much to earn it the first time, lest we be frank. He fought Bogdan Dinu for the interim title, and Bogdan Dinu was ranked, I think, number 2 at the time, and he beat literally nobody. I think he had 2 fights in like 2 years, and he was ranked number 2. And Bogdan Dinu was no great shakes as a heavyweight. It's himself. And then did he fight after that? No, then he fought the guy Trevor Bryan. Again, he was the regular champion for what that's worth, on an absolute joke of a show I think it was in Florida or in Ohio. It was somewhere like that in America on a Don King show, which looked ridiculous. It beat him, fought Kevin Lorena, and then got this shot. So he didn't really, you can't say he fought a who's who, to earn it, massive eliminator or something like that. So he'll have to earn it again. Let's see how that goes. In terms of this, it does again, and I said it once, I'll say it again, it frees up Oleksandr Usyk, Tyson Fury. The mandatory with the IBF, we know the situation there, but it's not stopping this fight. Oleksandr Usyk Fury happening. The WBO are going to have said that they'll wait a couple of months till middle of next year, thereabouts. So that's fine. WBA have no mandatory, and this obviously now Frank Warren, I'm sure he could appeal the decision, but is he really gonna? I mean, he was all for going down the legal road and saying we're gonna do this. The WBA, we're gonna get the rematch order, blah 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, they announce Fury Usyk is signed, and all of a sudden, all talk is just kind of like, no. I can picture Daniel Dubois being like, Frank, are you still going to help me get that WBA shot? Can you play the recorder? That's how I think Frank Warren is viewing it now. To be honest, that's how I think Frank Warren is going to view it now. And again, like, as I said, it frees up Fury Usyk. There's nothing that could come between it. As far as I'm hoping I'm not jinxing it now by saying that, but I don't think there's anything that can come between it. And some people can say, gee, Fury does have the Ngannou fight. Yeah, look, really, Ngannou ain't beating Fury. He ain't beating him. A great undercard, I'll give him that. It's great. Oh, and the British title, the British Boxing Board of Control have said that it's within their jurisdiction. In Saudi Arabia, okay, that make sense, but it's within their jurisdiction, so the British title will be on the line for Adelaide versus Wadley. Well, I'm glad that the British title is on the line. Obviously, it's a nice trinket to add, but Saudi Arabia, and it's within the British Boxing Board of Control's jurisdiction. Okie dokie, they're quite a far bit away, but okie dokie. Nevertheless, it's a good undercard. I'll give him that. I will give him that. So everything is looking good. Everything is looking rosy for Fury Usyk. It's been signed by both guys. Team Usyk have come out and acknowledged that, which to me gives it a little bit more, it gives me a little bit more kind of comfort in the fact that, okay, this looks like we are in a good place. This looks legit. If it was just Team Fury saying we signed it, we heard nothing from Team Usyk, you'd be kind of like, right. But both sides have said it. We're looking very good. We're looking good. And as I said several times, I expect to know the date once, literally the minute Fury and Ngannou ends. When that fight is over, I think we'll get the date announced. I think they'll say it's going to be December the 23rd. Chucking an arbitrary date out there. I know that's the date they're talking about, but it won't necessarily be it. But let's just say they say that date, or they turn around and they say January 26th. Whether it's a Sunday or not, I don't know, but we'll just use that date. As long as we have a date, we're going to be happy. In terms of Dubois, he's going to have to go back to the drawing board. He's going to have to go and try and earn a crack, whether it be with the WBA, WBO, etc., etc. But he's not going to get an immediate rematch ordered. And, as I said several times, for me, it looked in a kind of a grey area. I wouldn't have complained if the referee had administered a count. I'm not screaming robbery because it's a low blow either. I'm not. It was a proper kind of grey area. The referee never kind of said, shots here are good, shots there aren't good. The referee made the decision, and that's it. WBA have clarified and said, no, we ain't going any further with this. So for Dubois, I wouldn't say Warren is going to lose much sleep over it. He might try and save face in an interview, but he ain't going to be losing sleep over that. And again, some people would argue, and they would argue that, maybe the WBA didn't look into it as much as they should have, and maybe they're ruling this because they know, right, we could order an immediate rematch between Usyk and Dubois, we'll get our sanction fees, that's all good, or we could get sanction fees for Fury Usyk, which would be immeasurably more than they will get for Usyk Dubois too. And maybe that's thinking, of course, you couldn't rule that out. I mean, money talks at the end of the day. So that is the situation. There, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below on this. Do you feel for Daniel Dubois? Do you feel aggrieved by it? Or do you think, do you know what? No, it was low. We're happy with it. Fury Usyk is next. Let's get that going. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. For now, I will leave you with that. I will chat to you post-fight for Tommy Fury versus KSI. I expect Tommy Fury to win. Possibly even stop KSI, to be honest with you. But let's wait and see. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Smash the like button if you could. Hit subscribe, of course, if you haven't already. For now, lads and lassies, I will leave you with that. Peace.